Herbert Marshall as the man called X. Wherever there is mystery, intrigue, romance, in all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the man called X.
Ken Thurston first saw the girl in the lobby of a New York building in which the offices of the Bureau were located. She was pleading with the elevator starter, pleading in a dazed, frightened manner.
The man who is known as X, I must speak with him. It is about Maggiore, you understand? Per favore, please, I must speak with him. I must.
A few minutes later, the girl sits quietly, a little frightened, in a private office at the Bureau as Ken talks to her sympathetically.
So you want to talk with this man called X?
See, the man who is X. You know him, senor?
I think I can help you find him, if you'll help me. Now, suppose you start by telling me your name.
My name, senor?
Yes, that's right.
But I do not know my name. That is strange, is it not? I do not know my own name.
Oh, it's not important. It'll come to you. Do you remember why you came here to see him?
But I have told you, senor. It is about Maggiore. You understand, senor? About Maggiore.
Maggiore?
Oh, no, you do not understand. But this man who is X, he will know. See, he must know.
Of course, but when we see him, you must tell me where you're from, what is troubling you.
But I cannot do this, senor. I do not remember. I can remember nothing. Only that I must see the man called X. About Maggiore. Please, per favore, take me to him, senor. He must help me. Please, please.
Yes, I'll take you to him. But first, you'll rest a bit. Now, here, come with me. Come this way. Miss Brooks, will you see that the signorina rests comfortably for a half hour or so? And get in touch with Dr. Bowman at the hospital. I want her placed in his care.
Certainly, Mr. Thurston. Here, you come with me, dear. Now, everything will be all right.
Grazie.
Did you get it on the dictograph, Chief?
Yes, I got it, Ken. An amnesia case, eh?
Sounds like it.
Think it might be a fake?
Dr. Beaumont will tell us. Mind if I use your office phone, Chief?
No, go right ahead.
Hello, Esmond. Thurston. The Spartivento sailed from Naples last week en route to New York. The Maggiore art collection was aboard.
The Maggiore art collection, of course.
Yeah, now check on it and see where it is now, will you? Thanks.
So you think the girl was talking about the Maggiore collection, eh, Ken?
Could be. What do you know about the collection, Chief?
Well, let's see. It's world famous, looted by the Nazis, recently recovered, and it's coming over here for some kind of public exhibition, isn't it?
That's right. It's going to tour the country. Proceeds going to a rehabilitation fund for Italian war orphans.
Yeah, but if that's what the girl was talking about, why should she look for you? The Bureau hasn't any interest in an art collection.
I think we have, Chief.
Huh?
That collection means a new life for thousands of Italian kids. A chance to dig themselves out of the mess the war left them in.
Well, sure, Ken,
That's why the collection is our responsibility. We've got to see that those kids get that chance. That they grow up as the next generation's decent citizens and not as stormtroopers. Thurston here. Oh, yes, Thurston. Yeah. I see. Thanks. Spartivento docked out of this morning, Chief. The Maggiore collection went through customs about an hour ago.
And what do you want us to do, Ken?
Chief, the truck taking the collection to the Norris Art Gallery was hijacked. The guard and driver killed. And the paintings are gone.
Where are we going anyways, Mr. Thurston?
Well, I'm not sure you want to go, Bygone, but the chief thought you might do a little job for the Bureau.
Mr. X, that's out. Definitely, positively out. I don't want no jobs with the Bureau.
That's what I thought. Well, can I drop you anywhere before I get to the Norris Art Gallery?
The Norris Art Gallery? Well, that's where the Maggiore collection is.
That's where it was going to be before it was stolen.
Stolen? But that thing's worth $10 million.
Yeah. I'll drop you at this corner, Bygone.
10 million simoleons. Should be a pretty good reward for getting that stuff back, eh?
Oh, the insurance company will pay off pretty well, sure. But as long as you're not interested.
Why should we be so hasty, Mr. X? Naturally, I don't want a job, but I'll be glad to help you out, yeah. Just for old lang time, you understand. And $20 a day in expenses, of course.
You got it straight now, Pagan?
Oh, sure. It's a cinch. While you talk to the manager, I make like a big-shot art expert.
Good. There's the gallery. Let's go in.
There's the office, Mr. Thurston. It says Muriel Bowen, manager.
Yeah. Okay, Pagan. I'll see you back at the car.
You understand, Miss Bowen, that I consider the loss of the Maggiore collection to be the result of unforgivable negligence on your part.
I'm not particularly interested in your thoughts on the subject, Mr. Cameron.
Well, as manager of this gallery, you should be. The dividing line between unforgivable and criminal negligence may be a very narrow one. Good day, Miss Bowen. Pardon me, please.
Certainly, yes, sir. May I come in, Miss Bowen?
Why not? You're practically in now.
Thanks.
Did you enjoy your little eavesdrop?
Sorry, I didn't mean to move in on a private conversation. That was J.B. Cameron, wasn't it? One of the sponsors of the Maggiore collection?
I'm sure that Mr. Cameron and I don't know nearly as much about you.
Oh, my name's Ken Thurston. I'm interested in the collection, too.
How nice. An official interest?
Let's put it this way. There's a good deal of money tied up in it that will be lost if it's not recovered.
Only an insurance man would be interested in the money involved.
I gather that Cameron seemed to think that you might be.
What else have you gathered, Mr. Thurston?
Only that you're the manager of the gallery and that your name is Muriel Bowen.
I'm 28, single, and I've been here ever since I left art school 6 years ago. And I know absolutely nothing about the robbery. Does that help you?
It might. If I could rely on that information.
You will have to decide that for yourself, Mr. Thurston.
Miss Scusa, signor. That is a problem with which perhaps I may assist you.
Oh?
I am Luca Rosselli, signor, representing the Italian organization which sent the Maggiore collection over here.
Well, I'm glad to know you, Rosselli.
Your Rosselli is also a carbon copy of J.B. Cameron in a way, Mr. Thurston. Go ahead, Luca. Tell the man how dishonest I am.
Oh, I do not say that, signorina. I accuse no one of anything. I know only that it is of vital import that those paintings be recovered.
You sound like an art lover.
Art? I know nothing of art. I'm here to collect revenue for displaying those paintings. Money that is needed badly in Italy for the war orphans.
Well, at least someone here realizes that those children will suffer the real loss.
You're a very unusual insurance man, Mr. Thurston, placing the interests of Italian orphans above that of your company.
This is a very unusual case, Miss Bowen.
Yes, I know. You see, the real insurance man was here 15 minutes ago. That makes your interest in this matter most unusual.
All right, Pagan, what luck did you have?
Can always depend on the Zellschmidt. You know that Cameron guy?
What about him?
He thinks I'm a big-shot art collector. You know, he's a collector himself. Specializes in Da Vinci painting.
What's so important about that?
Well, maybe I can pick up a bit of change. After all, I've got a friend who paints Da Vinci's even better than Da Vinci.
I think you can make a better deal with Cameron.
I can? How?
Find the Maggiore collection for him. That's got 2 genuine Da Vinci's in it. Come in.
Ken, why the hurry-up call for me to come here to the hospital?
They're going to get some answers from that little Italian girl.
Oh, and she was faking amnesia.
No, Beaumont's given her an extensive examination. She's undergone traumatic shock with lots of memory.
Yes, but where does the connection with the Maggiore robbery come in?
Chief, I'm convinced that girl's mind holds the key to it. We've got to unlock it.
But if she's got amnesia...
Beaumont's going to try sodium pentothal.
Sodium pentothal? The stuff the Army psychiatrists use for battle fatigue.
Yeah. This girl has what amounts to the same thing. Some horrible shock has blocked her mind. But Beaumont's going to get her now. And within a few hours, we should have the answers to everything. Oh, hello, Beaumont. All set to go.
I'm afraid not, Thurston.
What's the matter? Something wrong?
Well, I went to get that girl a little while ago. Her room was empty.
Empty? Well, how'd she get out?
I don't know. I ordered a search. Failed to turn her up. I'm sorry, Thurston, but that girl's disappeared.
Herbert Marshall, The Man Called X, in just a moment. 48, we present Part 2 of The Man Called X.
The Maggiore art collection has been stolen. Thousands of Italian war orphans will be without rehabilitation unless it's recovered. And the girl who didn't remember, whose mind holds the key to the mystery, has disappeared. Now, an hour later at the Bureau office, Ken is talking to one of the Bureau's agents over the phone.
Yeah, keep the Norris Gallery covered, Esmond. I want to report on everything that Muriel Bowen and Luca Rosselli do. Right. Call me back when you have anything. Oh, hello, Chief. Anything new?
Not a thing, Ken. The girl seems to have dropped off the face of the earth.
We've got to find her, Chief, before it's too late.
Ken, are you sure we're not kicking up a big cloud of dust over nothing? Those paintings are bound to show up when they're offered for sale.
They'll never be sold on the open market. There are collectors who will buy them purely for personal satisfaction.
Yes? Oh. For you, Ken.
Thanks. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Thurston. This is Muriel Bowen.
Yeah, I recognize your voice.
How flattering.
How'd you get this number?
A delightful friend of yours, the art collector. I believe his name is Zell Schmidt.
I might have known.
Don't feel too badly about it, Mr. Thurston. You see, you don't have to bother about the Maggiore collection anymore.
Oh, why not?
Because it was just returned to the gallery not 5 minutes ago.
Trying to get into the gallery, Mr. Thurston. Nobody's home.
What are you doing here, Pagan?
Oh, I just came back to get Mr. Cameron's address. I got a painting to sell him. A brand new Da Vinci. Strictly a part of my job for the Bureau, you understand.
Yeah, well, forget about it. Your job is over.
Huh?
The Maggiore paintings have been returned. They're in the gallery now.
Oh, no, they're not.
What do you mean?
Oh, I was just inside there. By accident, the key I just happened to have in my pocket fit at the back door. And I know a Bellini or Da Vinci when I see one. And I didn't see one.
Let's get to that rear door.
Sure. It's right down in the back of this driveway. There it is, Mr. Thurston. Right where that big truck is parked.
Yeah, let's take a look at that truck.
So it's a truck, so what?
A closed panel job. With a few bullet holes in it.
Bullet holes? Mr. X.
Yeah. This is the truck that was hijacked.
Hey, then maybe the paintings are still in there. Oh, Mr. X? Are they?
No, but something else is.
Huh? What?
A Bureau agent named Esmond. With a bullet in his head.
Yes, what... Well, Mr. Thurston.
May I come in, Muriel?
Why, of course, Mr. Thurston. I'm honored.
Thanks.
I suppose you stopped by about that telephone call.
An explanation might help.
It was merely a stupid mistake. One of the attendants told me the truck had been returned. I misunderstood, thinking he meant the paintings. I called you before I checked.
Yeah, that could happen to anyone.
You should have told me you were going to drop in. I'd have had the apartment more presentable.
Or you wouldn't have been here at all.
Why, Mr. Thurston, how can you say such things?
Those suitcases and half-packed clothes said them first.
Ah, the evil finger of suspicion. It moves, it writes, and still spells my name.
Why not try erasing it?
Never erase a line once drawn seeking perfection. The line may be improved, but the soul of art destroyed. My art teacher taught me that once.
Art school, the Matisse and Picasso on your wall. Painting means a lot to you, doesn't it, Muriel?
Ah, you've uncovered my scarlet secret, Mr. Thurston. Yes, it means almost everything. My job at the Norris Gallery. I wonder if you can understand how I feel about it. As though it were a sort of trust.
I can understand that.
And can you understand how I felt when the Maggiore collection was stolen? The collection I was responsible for.
You can't run away from responsibility, Muriel.
There's no law that says a person is a criminal because he can't face his own conscience.
Ah, but there is a law against kidnapping.
Kidnapping?
That nurse's uniform on the Devonport. Too bad you didn't get it packed before I came in. Where's the girl, Muriel? In the bedroom?
Yes, Ken. Yes, she is.
Think of it, Mr. Cameron. Where else could you pick up such a bargain? A genuine Da Vinci. And for only, shall we say, $5,000?
That is quite a bargain, Mr. Zellschmidt. Why let it go so reasonably?
You hit the nail on the hammer, Mr. Cameron. Yeah, you know how it is when you need some ready cash.
Oh, need to get rid of a stolen painting.
Stolen? But I swear by the father of my father, Mr. Cameron.
What about that, Rosselli? Is this Da Vinci part of the Maggiore collection?
Senor Cameron, that painting was never in any collection.
You're so right, Signor Rosselli. It was passed down in my family. From hand to mouth, you understand.
Your pardon, Mr. Cameron. There's a Mr. Ken Thurston to see you.
Oh, no.
Show him in, please, William.
Yes, sir. This way, please, Mr. Thurston.
Thank you. Hope you don't mind my barging in on you like this, Mr. Cameron.
No, not at all, Mr. Thurston. You're the insurance man Rosselli was telling me about, aren't you?
I'd like to talk to you about the collection.
Oh, yes, of course. Rosselli dropped in for the same reason. Frankly, we got nowhere, and we're just amusing ourselves listening to a sales talk about this Da Vinci copy.
Copy?
Any fool would know that, Zellschmidt. Well, look at the necklace on the portrait. The links in several places are not even joined. Now, do you think that Da Vinci would ever make a mistake like that?
But the copy is bound to look pretty shabby compared to the paintings you have here, Cameron.
Yes. They are pretty fine, aren't they?
Yes, that Franz Hals, for instance. One of the best I've ever seen.
I practically had to kidnap the owner in Amsterdam to keep the Frick collection from getting it.
And that Coyle. I don't think he's ever had a finer feeling for the haze of twilight than in that one.
No. No, it cost me $10,000 more than I wanted to pay. Old man Carpenter was bidding against me. But I got it.
Oh, senores, please. This is all very interesting, but we should be discussing the Maggiore collection. Art is not as important at this time as those children in Italy.
You're right, Signor Vaselli. And I've good news for you. We found a young girl, an amnesia case, who apparently knows all about it.
Why, that's wonderful, Thurston. But if she has amnesia, how can she tell you anything?
She's going under sodium pentothal at the hospital tonight. I think she's going to tell us all we need to know.
Lights, please, nurse. All right, Thurston, she's ready. We can begin. Now, you understand the procedure.
I think so, Doctor.
They've got to make her face the thing that brought on the traumatic shock. Bring it out in the open. You're here because the man called X is the one thing she's clinging to. So when she talks directly to you, answer her. But when we reach the point where the trauma began, I'll take over and reconstruct the situation with her.
I understand.
Good. I'll ask her if she can hear you.
Can you hear me, Signorina? This is the man called X. Can you hear me?
I can hear, Senor X.
You were looking for me, Signorina?
See, I was looking for you. Friends.
Friends of yours told you about me?
Children. Neighbors. You helped them.
Ask her why she needed help.
Why do you need help, Signorina?
It is about Maggiore.
The Maggiore art collection?
See, the paintings. I've come for the children. Nothing can happen. Nothing. You must help.
Help with what? What help did you need? Where?
The boat from Naples. The told. Help them.
You're aboard the boat, Signorina. You understand? Aboard the boat.
No.
You're aboard the boat sailing from Naples to the United States.
No.
Aboard the boat with the Maggiore art collection.
No. You cannot do it.
Why can't I do it?
The children. Nothing can happen to them. Nothing.
What do I care about the children? What do they mean to me?
How can you say that? You, of all people, how can you say that?
Those children mean nothing to me. Only those paintings matter.
I do not believe you. No. After the war, what we've been through together, you cannot steal it. You cannot.
I'm going to steal it. Do you hear me? I'm going to. You can't stop me.
No. I will not let you.
What do you care whether I steal those paintings or not?
How can you say that? How can you?
What does it matter to you? Why do you care?
How do I care? Are we not?
Why do you care? How
can you say that? Luca, mio fratello. Luca, my own brother. How can you say that?
Proud of that. So the secret's out at last.
Keep quiet, you fool. You'll endanger the patient's welfare.
Do not endanger your own welfare by any foolish moves, Doctor.
Luca, mio fratello. My own brother. Stealing.
It's all right, Nina. It's all right. There's nothing to be afraid of. Quiet now. Everything's all right. Just wait.
No, do not move either person. I will not hesitate to use this gun.
I know, Rossetti. Just like you used it on Esmond. When he caught you driving the truck back to the gallery to throw suspicion on Muriel.
Now, see. It is unfortunate that you discovered my sister. Otherwise, you would have suspected only Signorina Bowen.
No, Rossetti, you gave yourself away. By trying too hard to convince me you knew nothing about art. And were only concerned about money for the children. But you slipped when you told Pagan why his copy of Da Vinci was a fake. No amateur would have noticed. Muriel suspected you, too.
Signorina Bowen?
Yes. That's why she tried to get Nina out of town. She was afraid you'd find her and kill her to keep her from talking. And you would have, too, wouldn't you, Rosselli?
She's a fool, senor. Why should I not kill her?
Sure. What's a little murder compared to money? Esmond, your sister, thousands of kids in Italy whose future depends on those paintings. Well, you're not going to get away with it, Rosselli.
Oh, brave words, Senor Thirst. But words will not stop me from pulling this trigger and disposing of all of you.
I figured that. Okay, Chief, turn on the lights.
You bet, Ken.
What?
Hold those men.
Watch it, Chief. He's going to shoot.
Nice going, Ken. Trap worked out perfectly. That's all the proof we need. Except one thing. He didn't tell us where the paintings are.
I think we'll find them at Cameron's, Chief.
Cameron?
Yeah. In some secret gallery where he can sit and gloat over them. They didn't represent art to him any more than they did to Rosselli. To one, possession. The other, money.
Then it's all over, eh, Ken?
No, Chief, it's just beginning. For some thousands of kids in Italy. You know, those kids are like a blank canvas. And we're the painters. What we put into that canvas will determine its future. Maybe a masterpiece whose effect will be felt for generations. Maybe a worthless smear that'll wind up in the junk pile of the world. I wonder which it's going to be.
The Man Called X on the golden age of radio theater, first broadcast August 15th, 1948. Just a moment, we'll be back.
When you're looking for a treat to freshen taste and keep breath sweet, get double smoothness, flavor too. Get the gum that's double good to chew.
Double your pleasure, double your fun with double good mint gum.
Not so many years ago, tomato soup and cream of tomato were unusual dishes, enjoyed very much, but not very often. Today, of all the soups in the world, tomato soup is the one most often served. Not because women have taken to making tomato soup frequently. No, on the contrary, few housewives ever attempt it anymore. There's just one reason for tomato soup's popularity, and it is this: the magic, matchless flavor of Campbell's tomato soup. There's a lively verve, a dashing zest about this flavor that people take to at once and come back to and enjoy again and again. The first racy taste of it has a way of arousing a desire to eat, and yet there's a pleasant feeling of satisfaction when the last spoonful is gone. So this soup is a happy choice for the main dish at lunchtime or at supper, and it also is a fine way to start the day's main meal. Serve it sometimes, too, as cream of tomato, made with milk instead of water. You can always be sure that it will be received with pleasure, because this, of all soups, is the one people like to have most often: Campbell's tomato soup.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. First Nighter. Welcome to your Theater of Hits. It's almost curtain time. Shall we go right in? This way, please. Here are your orchestra seats for the best in Broadway musicals, performed by the United States Marine Band under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel William F. Sattleman and presented by the United States Marine Corps. For this performance, we bring you Victor Herbert's beloved Red Mill. This operetta was one of the biggest successes in Herbert's career and was his greatest moneymaker. Red Mill was first performed in 1906 and was a hit from the very outset. A well-known critic of that era wrote, "The plot is picturesque, the action exciting, and the music delightful. Certainly ingredients for a very successful stage musical." And now, I see the house lights are dimming, and Colonel Sattleman is entering from stage left. He takes the podium, lifts his baton, and we hear the first act of Victor Herbert's Red Mill. thank you, Colonel Santleman and the Marine Band, for a wonderful rendition of the first act of Victor Herbert's Red Mill. I'll be back very shortly with the finale of Red Mill, but right now, here is a special program note. You know, Victor Herbert established quite a record for writing musical comedies. With the exception of Sigmund Romberg, he wrote more comic operas than any other composer of any era. In a different vein, but equally as impressive, is the record established by the United States Marine Corps. For more than 179 years, Marines have served their country with honor, pride, and a devotion to duty that mere words cannot describe. Behind this impressive record is a compact and select group of men. Men with a burning desire to serve their country to the best of their ability. Men with a fierce pride in their corps and their uniform. For details on what makes a Marine and how you can become one, see your local Marine Corps recruiter today. And now, as the house lights dim once again and Colonel Santleman raises the baton, we hear the final act of Victor Herbert's Red Mill. this concludes Victor Herbert's Red Mill, as performed for you by the United States Marine Band under the baton of Lieutenant Colonel William F. Sattleman. This program was brought to you transcribed by the men and women of the United States Marine Corps through special arrangement with Tams Whitmark Music Library, Incorporated, with this closing program note. Today, more than ever before, our country needs alert young men capable of leading others. Men who can meet any situation with prompt, intelligent decisions and see them through to a successful conclusion. Every member of this land, sea, and air team is a star performer, trained to do a man-sized fighting job in defense of our country. If you are 17 or over and would like to know more about how you can qualify for this all-American team, write, call, or visit your local Marine Corps recruiter. Then, serve with the finest. Serve with the Marines. And now this is your host, John Batchelder, hoping you enjoyed Theater of Hits.
Of the authority vested in me, I do hereby call to order the 103rd meeting of the Batman Mystery Club. And now it is my privilege to introduce our friend Bruce Wayne, otherwise known as the Batman.
Thank you, Robin. Good evening, everybody. You've just heard Robin open the 103rd meeting of our Mystery Club. As you know, we gather together at this time each night to explore the supernatural and to tear aside the veil of darkness, to prove that ghosts and apparitions are only figments of man's imagination, to show that wherever there is mystery, it's been created by human hands. And so, with that thought in mind, I bid you all welcome to the Mystery Club. Since we have important matters to consider tonight, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the last meeting.
I second the motion, Batman.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Are there any questions from the floor? Yes, Richard.
I'm a little puzzled about something, Batman.
All right, let's see whether we can unpuzzle you. What is it, Richard?
Well, in our last mystery, you know, the one we finished Friday night, you told how the little man with the limp, I think his name was Mr. Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he swore that he saw the ghost of his brother when he visited that medium, Madame Safar. He wasn't crazy, was he?
Oh, Mr. Willis was quite sane. As a matter of fact, he was convinced he had seen his brother's ghost.
Well, did he?
Of course not. Madame Zafara, like most fakers, was very clever. Before setting up the seance for Mr. Willis, she managed somehow to secure a photograph of his dead brother. She had a plaster cast made, and using soft green lights, it almost looked like the real thing.
Gee whiz. Yeah, but what about the ectoplasm, Mr. Willis? So wasn't that real?
Our ectoplasm doesn't exist, Richard. It's a word used by so-called psychic mediums as part of their phony mumbo-jumbo. It's supposed to be a ghostly emanation. In Mr. Willis's case, what he saw floating around the half-darkened room was a thin piece of white gauze suspended from a string. In his excited state, it looked like a ghostly emanation.
Oh, well, I think that clears it up. Thanks.
You're quite welcome, Richard. Now, if there are no further questions, we'll proceed to our story.
It's a new one tonight, isn't it, Batman?
Yes, Marilyn, a brand new one.
A ghost story?
Well, I suppose you'd call it that, Roger. It's about The Monster of Dumphrey's Hall. All right, now, turn the lights low, Robin. That's better. Now, the story begins 3 years ago when Robin and I were in England. We'd been invited to dinner at Dumphrey's Hall, an old English country manor, the home of my friend, Sir Alfred Dumphreys. It was a wild and lonely night, with a storm brewing, and the fact that Dumphrey's Hall was located in the center of a barren moor didn't help matters any. There were 5 of us at the dinner table. Sir Alfred, charming Lady Marsden, gruff old Sir Sidney Mordred, Robin, and myself. We had just finished dessert and were engaged in conversation.
More coffee, Mr. Wayne?
Thank you, no, Lady Marsden.
Well, you may pour me another cup, by Joe.
Of course, Sir Mordred.
Oh, beastly weather. And beastly hole to be having it in, I must say. Had I known the weather was going to be as rotten as this, I'd have stayed in London, I declare. How are you standing it, Wayne?
Oh, it isn't the weather I mind, Sir Mordred. It's the fact that it seems to make this old baronial mansion so chill and damp. A wood-burning fireplace is decorative, but I'd prefer steam radiators myself. You were about to say something, Sir Alfred?
I was about to say that Sir Mordred, since he has far more money than I, can have those improvements put in after he buys Dumphrey's Hall. Buy Dumphrey's Hall? Oh, I said you'd still expect me to buy this ruddy place out. You said you would if I proved it wasn't haunted.
Haunted? Gosh, is Dumphrey's Hall haunted, Sir Alfred?
Of course not, Robin. It's just that a silly legend has grown up about the place. A legend concerning a monster. Now, look here, Alf, let's face facts, what? I need a country estate, and I'm willing to buy this place if you can assure me the death chamber is not haunted. And by Joe, you know there's only one way to prove that. That's exactly how I plan to prove it.
Sir Alfred, you don't really need me.
I most certainly do, Lady Marsden.
Oh, but you can't. Anyone who spent even 5 minutes in that room after midnight...
Listen to me, all of you. There's not one of you at this table who is not aware of the fact that I'm a poor man. Yes, a poor man. Oh, I have lands, estates, but they cost me money. They don't make me money. I've got to sell this place, and Sir Mordred says he'll buy it if I can prove Dumphrey's Hall is not haunted. Well, I intend to prove it tonight. Oh, nothing to alarm yourself about, Lady Marsden. There are wild dogs on the moor. Sometimes they bay and howl.
Yes, of course. Silly of me to be so nervous.
Well, as I was saying, I shall enter the death chamber at midnight and remain there until morning. I shall prove that the legend has no foundation in fact.
If you don't mind telling me, Sir Alfred, what exactly is the legend of this death chamber? I have only the vaguest idea.
Of course I'll tell you, Bruce. There's a room in this house which has not been unlocked for over a century. No one has entered it in all that time. Why? Because the last 3 people who slept in it died under rather mysterious circumstances. They were found stiffened by death into, shall we say, unpleasant shape.
And you propose to enter that room tonight, alone?
I do.
If these people died, as you say they
I
did.
don't say they did. The legend says it. Oh, I don't deny people have died in that room, but I'm convinced they died natural death. The rest is distortion, old wives' tales that have become more distorted with each telling.
But, Sir Alfred, what of the monster?
Oh, more of the same legend, Bruce. It said that several of the people who died screamed out something about a monster. What exactly, no one ever knew. It is also said that a strange being has been seen prowling the corridors of Dumphrey's Hall. Well, I don't believe a word of it. I shall prove tonight that the hall is not haunted. By Joe, Alf, you prove it, and I'll buy Dumphreys at your own figure. I'll prove it. At midnight, I'll enter the so-called death chamber. We'll unlock the door together, I'll go in, and the rest of you can wait outside. And you may be sure I'll come out alive.
Well, it's midnight, Sir Alfred.
Yes, I wish you'd stop standing there and staring at me, Sir Mordred, as though you were seeing me for the last time. Nothing's going to happen, I assure you.
I'm merely going to explode a silly and stupid legend.
Oh, look here, Alf. I'll buy the blooming place now. You needn't prove it's not haunted. I'll either keep the death chamber locked or call in a firm of London shepherds and have the ghosts exterminated.
It's frightfully extorting of you, Sir Mordred, but I can't let you do it.
Oh.
Now, look here. Everything is ready, so don't try to stop me. Here's the death chamber before us. Here in my hand is the ancient key to it. By George, they made them large enough in those days, didn't they? Yes, and the wild dogs are supplying just the right ghostly atmosphere.
Oh, gosh, Sir Alfred, I'm scared. I hate to see you go into that room alone like
But
that.
don't fret your young head about me, Robin.
Sir Alfred's quite right, Robin.
Yeah,
He's just trying to prove what we've been proving for a long time. That ghosts do not exist except in the imagination.
Yes, of course. Perfectly silly, the whole matter.
Oh, stop looking so glum, Mordred. This is a lark. I tell you what we'll do. I keep talking to you from inside the room. So long as you hear my voice, you'll know there's nothing wrong. And let's open the worry room. I'll just insert the key. So. Turn it. So. Turns easily enough, eh? Now then I'll just open the door. Now, if you'll just hand me that lighted candle, I'll go in.
Alfred, by Joe, are you sure?
Oh, come now, not another word, Mordred. Candle. Thanks. Well, here I go. Wish me luck.
Good luck, old boy. Oh, I don't know why, but I have a feeling I could use a stimulant.
Nonsense, Sir Mordred. And anyway, we must all of us stay here now.
Yes, and keep talking to Sir Alfred. Mr. Alfred, everything all right?
Top hole, Bruce. Rather a musty old place, to say the least. Hardly enough air in here to keep the candle burning. But quite safe. Don't worry.
Gee, sir, is he going to stay in there all night?
Oh, no, lad. If he remains in there half an hour, it'll be enough. According to the legend, death always occurred between midnight and the half hour following. I say, Alf, quite comfortable, are you?
Oh, yes, quite. I'm enjoying it, as a matter of fact. Bring on your monsters.
It really sounds as if he is enjoying himself.
Why shouldn't he? As he said, it's nothing but a lark.
Oh, that dog again. Every time it howls, my blood runs cold. Oh, by Joe, Alf, after I've bought this place, the first thing I'm going to do is clear the moor of those blasted dogs. You care to take on the job yourself? You're a good shot. I say, Alf, would you care to take on the job yourself?
Oh, he doesn't answer.
No, it can't be.
Just a moment. Sir Alfred, this is Bruce Wayne. Sir Alfred.
Not a sound.
Don't move anyone. I'm going in there.
No, Mr. Wayne, you mustn't.
Don't move, I said. Sir Alfred. Sir Alfred.
Mr. Wayne, what is it? What's happened?
Stay where you are.
Sir Wayne, tell me what's happened.
I can't tell you.
Please let me go to him. I must go to him.
No, you mustn't go to it. No one can enter that room. All right, Robin. Turn up the lights.
Sorry like that. What happened in the death chamber, Batman?
I'm afraid we haven't time to go into that tonight, Jerry.
But what about poor Sir Alf? Had he been killed by a monster or a ghost?
Listen, how many times does Batman have to tell you there are no ghosts?
Now, don't lose your temper, Robin. After all, Marilyn is a new member of the club. Be patient with her. All I can tell you, Marilyn, is this. No one else could have entered that room that night but Sir Alfred. There was only one door, and there were no windows. And yet, it certainly looked as if someone or something had slipped in.
But who?
Well, perhaps we'll find out at tomorrow's meeting of the Mystery Club. And now, since time is short, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Well, I move that we adjourn.
Second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Close the meeting, Robin.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I do hereby adjourn the 103rd meeting of the Batman Mystery Club. The 104th meeting will take place tomorrow night at the same time over the same station.
presents the distinguished swing of Artie Shaw, king of the clarinet, and his orchestra, creating dance history in the Blue Room of the Hotel Lincoln in New York City. And here's the trademark. It's called Nightmare. We start things off with one of those old Deep Purple deals. It's called Sobbin' Blues. Incredulous, perhaps, but solid. I can't believe that you're in love with me, Artie Shaw. And what to say about They Say? Well, we'll say the charming Helen Forrest will sing They Say. Artie Shaw plays, and that's enough said. Accelerate the going a bit with this mover. Artie Shaw and his orchestra playing It Had to Be You. Broadcasting Company is presenting the distinguished swing music of Artie Shaw, king of the clarinet, and his orchestra, playing for you from the Blue Room of the Hotel Lincoln in New York City.